Hello, you've caught me developing a special AI program to help me write and create these Friday features. And what it does is it takes every list feature I've ever made and compiles them into what should be the optimal Friday feature. Let's see how we get on. Hello, you've caught me thinking about Metal Gear Solid and steadily sticking jittery, sumptuous fruits into my trousers. Let's never talk of this again. As the old saying goes, if you want something done well, do it yourself, which isn't an idea I usually subscribe to. Part of gaming's appeal is the escapism from the drudgery of doing it myself. I like maximum results for minimum effort. Games where a well-timed button press can cascade out in a wave of systemic chaos, or where my objective, which, let's face it, often revolves around a lot of killing, can be delegated to the game itself. If, like me, you want to succeed without getting your hands dirty, here are 7 cunning video game kills where someone else did all the work. Cunning kill number 1, using The Last of Us Part 2's infected to kill the uninfected. After spending the first game trembling behind sofa cushions in fear of clickers, it was time to throw away that cushion and hope that the resulting thud would lure a sight-impaired monster towards the soft, fleshy parts of the WLF. At which point the WLF are more like the WTF. Now that Ellie and the fungal thugs go together like mould and week-old pizza, The Last of Us Part 2 transforms into a different game. It's more like PS3 Gem Overlord, sending out comedy minions to do my bidding. Okay, in Overlord you don't give orders by smashing beer bottles, and I'm pretty sure it was lighter on the arterial spray. But 2007 was a while ago, so I might be wrong. For the lazier killer, the real treat arrives when you enter Rattler territory and find the infected decorating their compound like the world's most short-sighted lawn ornament. Short-sighted both in the ocular sense and because it's a tremendously bad idea having a notoriously bitey monster just one chain snap away from your jugular. Infected got loose! While this is obviously hilarious, I do have a faint flicker of conscience. My enemy's enemy is my friend, but surely the line has to be drawn somewhere. Think of all the good people the infected chowed down on. Tess, little Sam, poor Riley. Isn't it an affront to their memory to side with the fungus? Did I really learn so little from their tragic deaths? The answer is yes. Onwards, my fungal army! If you felt queasy allying with mushroom men, you may find it more palatable exploiting entry number 2, using the concept of time itself to kill your enemy, as made famous in the boss fight with the end in Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater. Stop me if you've heard this before, but in Metal Gear Solid 3...
Yes, we've heard it, like hundreds of times. Why do you think I'm keeping track on the board?
Don't literally stop me. Anyway, this classic tactic comes into play during an encounter with a legendary aging sniper. You could do it the honest way, hit the dirt, shuffle through the ferns, catch a glint of a sniper scope and delicately line up your shot. But that's the standard way and would suit a different Friday feature. Maybe 7 times you did exactly what was intended and it still felt really cool. Actually, that's not a bad idea. The sneakier technique is to let Father Time do your dirty work for you. By saving the game during the fight and waiting at least 8 days to load back in, Snake Eater uses the PS2's internal clock to recognise the passing of time, and the end, already on his last legs when the fight begins, dies of old age. So much for time healing all wounds. Of course, if you didn't have 8 days to spare, you could alter the PS2's internal clock to hasten the end's demise, a trick that still works in the Master Collection on PS4 and PS5. Or so I've heard. Obviously, I always do it the skillful, traditional way. We head from jungle operations to bungled operations in Hitman's Hokkaido. It's a snow-flecked mountaintop spa meets top-secret health facility where Agent 47's former training director, Eric Soda, has enrolled for the 3 R's: rest, relaxation, and rejuvenation. Of course, our follically challenged Angel of Death has 3 different R's in mind. Ah! Ah! And ah! Which is, of course, the noise Eric makes as I murder him. And Eric is oh so murderable. Awaiting a heart transplant, he's strapped to an operating table where he's vulnerable to a surgeon's shaky hands or the malfunctioning lasers of the hospital's reprogrammed AI. It's like that bit at the start of a Casualty episode where you wait for disaster to befall someone, only here the disaster is the casualty department. But the kill I have in mind is far more devious. It's called No Heart Feelings and stands out as a truly unique kill in the Hitman series. You see, it's the only assassination where the target doesn't die in the level itself. Instead of infiltrating the surgery, you can sniff out Eric's donor heart, crack open the case, and handle that perfect pump with all the care of the world's worst operation player. Yes, well, we finally found someone with even clumsier paws than you. Yes, yes! With his new heart heading to the landfill site, Eric is technically alive, but doomed to die. And you can't be blamed for a death if no one is technically dead yet. So bask in the smug glow of your cunning kill and slowly saunter out of the level. Stopping on the way to complete the contract by pushing the other target off a yoga balcony. Okay, that one is less cunning. Entry number 4, Desperados 3, or as I like to call it, Once Upon a Time in the Tiny, Tiny West. Do not be fooled by these half-inch Eastwoods. They pack a lot into their dinky cowboy boots. That includes Isabel Moreau, a voodoo practitioner who can cause pain without ever laying a finger on her target. I wonder if you could use a voodoo doll on a doll. Food for thought, isn't it? Isabel's deadliest gift is the power to connect 2 minds, forcing both bodies to endure the same sensations. It can have non-lethal applications. Mind meld a guard to your hard-drinking pal Hector and have him swig his whiskey, and it puts the target in a drunken stupor. Call it hair of the dog that bit someone else. And this connectability obviously has myriad uses for shifting the blame of death. Link a guard to yourself, and when they shoot you, they shoot themselves. There's not a court in the land that would convict you. Connect a guard to a conked-out body and toss that body in the river, and the guard on land drowns where he stands. That's just science. Are you going to put science on trial? Or you compare a guard to a chicken and then mind control that chicken and walk it into your sniper's sights and... Ooh, sunshine. Okay, I'm willing to accept a lot of that one was on me. Let's stick with blowpipes for the 5th entry, the deliciously overpowered Berserker darts from Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag, aka the reason I never learned how to use any other weapon in Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag. Does this bit go in their nostril or something? Let Edward Kenway puff one of these bad boys into your neck and you'll be going from yo-ho-ho to oh no no. Step 1. Madness grips your brain like a kraken's tendril, turning brother against brother, friend against friend, slightly smaller ineffectual pirate against much bigger, deadlier pirate. And you just get to sit back and watch the chaos unfold like a pirate adventure movie playing inside your pirate adventure game. This is so much better than pushing buttons. And that's step 1. Should your berserked target somehow come out on top and kill all their friends, there's a second hidden after effect of the dart, and that is... let me check my notes. Ah yes, instantly dying a violent, horrible death. The only downside to this bit is having to sit there and wait for the incredibly slow berserker timer to tick down. Well, this is more like a boring art house movie. It basically nobbles every assassination mission in the game. After all, why raise a finger when your enemy will happily fight their way into the grave for you? The biggest challenge here is not running out of popcorn. 2/3 into the list, you may be thinking, Rob, a lot of these deaths, where other people allegedly do the killing for you, seem to hinge on you setting the ball rolling to begin with. Blowing a dart, crushing a heart, blowing a different dart. Okay, some of these do raise questions about culpability and agency, ideas that have challenged philosophers for centuries. Ideas I hope to finally put to rest in a new segment I'm calling Incredibly Serious Debating Corner.
Hello and welcome to Incredibly Serious Debating Corner. Today, responsibility in matters of mind control. Nathan, your opening argument?
I believe it was the utilitarian John Stuart Mill who said a person may cause evil to others not only by his action, but by his inaction, and in either case is justly accountable to them for the injury.
And Rob, your rebuttal?
Which is to say, I don't know, I just like it when giant monsters belt the living snot out of each other for my entertainment, making me feel like a 21st century Roman emperor. My current Colosseum of choice is Dragon's Dogma 2. Give me a griffin fighting a cyclops, and it's a big thumbs up from Emperor Robus Piersonius. And before you write it in the comments, yes, I know, a thumbs up was actually bad in gladiator times. If you want hot beast-on-beast action, only one vocation gets the job done. The Trickster. This is no peddler of whoopee cushions and fake flies in ice cubes, however. Their moveset hinges on creating an incense effigy of themselves, which can desperately cling onto the enemy, like that time your dad made the terrible decision to ride a mechanical bull at that wedding. Other monsters then spot your smoky doppelganger, see red, and then spill red. Because in the world of Dragon's Dogma 2, you can't tell the difference between a flesh and blood humanoid and a squirt of air freshener. Hey, I'm not complaining. I get my front row tickets to Monster WWE, and my incense burner covers up the fact that the Arisen hasn't taken a bath in 5 weeks. What do you expect? I can't use a leaf and some monster guts to make some Lynx Africa, can I? Finally, a devil who will happily take care of himself. You just give them a little persuasive push. It can only be Baldur's Gate 3. A game where a tongue is as deadly as any sword, as long as you find a pliable ear hole to whisper into. The devil in question is Yrgir the Orphan, trapped in the Gauntlet of Shah through a contract with Raphael. Ordinarily, this encounter is an absolute meat grinder. Yrgir's chucking mines like it's going out of fashion. He's got this massive panther made of pure nightmares and a gallery of Merregans who are basically cherubs after one too many protein shakes. It's now you realise he's called Yrgir because he's going to kill you and take your gear. Unless, that is, you possess a golden tongue. That's not an item, just a figurative bit of writing. Studying the terms of Yrgir's infernal contract, you realise it only curses him as long as there's an audience to hear it. So why get rid of that audience? With the right persuasion skill check, you can tell him to kill his Merregons.
Kill yourselves! Back to the hells with you!
If you can then pull a 21 out the bag, he'll put down his Displacer Beast.
My beauty.
And then if you can hit one more 21, he'll kill his final audience member, himself. Easy as pie, as long as you weren't Alex trying to capture that clip for the video. He rolled a natural 1 when he got that job. Those are my 7 cunning kills where I did none of the work. Now this is the bit of the video I delegate to you. It's time to pop your own suggestions in the comments below. Oh, and if you could click the thumbs up button while you're down there, I would appreciate it. Oh, and also make sure to subscribe and click the notification bell so you never miss a lovely list feature like this. There's a new one every Friday at 4 PM. See you next week.
PlayStation